Hello everyone. Today you will learn how to create and edit tables in Microsoft Word. I will show you different ways and demonstrate the process of creating a table by my own example. If this video seems too fast or slow to you, then you can easily choose the playback speed that suits you. And if you want to watch videos without sound, then just turn on subtitles. I wish you a pleasant viewing. In order to create a table in Microsoft Word, go to the Insert tab and click on the table icon. When you do this, you will open a menu in which there are several ways to create a table. Now we will consider the first option. Pay attention to these small cells. When I move the mouse cursor over them, a table appears on my sheet and its size depends on the range I have selected. I confirm my selection by clicking the left mouse button. That's how easily I added a table, and now I can proceed to fill it in. This method has a drawback: the number of rows and columns is limited. The largest table you can create will consist of a maximum of 8 rows and 10 columns. I will handle editing and filling in the table a little later, but for now, let me briefly show you other methods. So, in the same menu, I click on the Insert Table icon. In the window that pops up, I can specify the desired number of rows and columns, as well as choose the desired width parameters. This time, you won't have the limitation that I just mentioned to you. Once I have determined the parameters, I click OK. Done. Now let's consider the third option called Draw Table. Pay attention to the mouse cursor. After I click on this icon, my regular cursor changes to a pencil. This indicates that the drawing mode is activated in the working window. By holding down the left mouse button, I simply draw the table, and in fact, this is a quite convenient and flexible method. In the same way, I can edit existing tables in the document and by selecting the eraser tool, I can easily erase unnecessary borders or whole cells. To exit the drawing mode, you need to press the Escape key or click anywhere on the page outside the table. The next method will appeal to those who are familiar with working with tables in Excel because you can open the Excel program directly within Microsoft Word. Once again, I go to the Insert tab, and this time I'm interested in the Excel spreadsheet icon. I click on it. As you can see, the Excel editor opens, and I can perform all the necessary calculations and create a table without leaving the Word program. I believe this is an extremely convenient option, and it's great that developers have added it. To exit this mode, simply click the left mouse button outside the editing window. As you can see, a grid of cells is displayed. I don't need it, so I want to remove it. To do this, I double-click on the table, go to the View tab, and uncheck the Grid Lines option. Now, as I exit editing mode, the grid lines disappear. But what if you already have a ready-made table in Microsoft Excel and you want to transfer it to Word? In this case, you need to open both programs, then select the range of cells with the table and press the Ctrl+C key combination or choose the copy command from the menu, which can be accessed by right-clicking. Then, switch to the Word window, place the cursor where you want to paste the table, and press Ctrl+V. Done. You can also copy a table from Word to Excel in the same way. Let's continue. It's time to talk about templates. Here you can select a suitable option and customize it as needed. This may come in handy for you. The last method involves converting text into a table. To do this, select the text and choose the corresponding option. In the pop-up window, you can specify the desired settings and then click OK. Here's how it looks. So, we have covered all the methods of creating a table in Microsoft Word. Now, I would like to move on to the editing capabilities. I will be creating my own table using various tools, and it will be beneficial for you to observe this process as I touch on various nuances of working with tables and provide detailed explanations of my actions. I go to the Insert tab and click on the table icon. In the drop-down list, I select the Insert Table command. My table will have 10 rows and 5 columns. I leave the other parameters unchanged and click OK. The table is added as an independent object. If I click on the small square in the top left corner, the object will be selected, and a small editing toolbar will appear. By holding down the left mouse button on this square, I can move the table around the page. If I also hold the Shift key, the movement will be constrained to strictly horizontal or vertical directions. And with the square in the bottom right corner, I can resize the table. In Word, there are flexible options for adjusting the size of objects. It is important to know and be able to apply them. Pay attention to the mouse cursor. When I bring it to the edge of a cell, it changes. By holding down the left mouse button, I can adjust the width of a column or the height of a row. It is important to understand that the same action in the program can be performed in different ways. For example, I can adjust the width of a column using the ruler. This method is convenient when your table does not have visible borders. However, there is no need to go through every possible method for performing the same actions. It's not necessary. If you want to change the size of a specific cell, you need to position the cursor like this. The appearance of a bold black arrow indicates that you can set an individual size for that cell. I click the left mouse button, and the cell is selected. Now, I perform the same actions as in the previous examples, but this time, the width of only one cell changes instead of the entire column. It is also convenient to add new rows and columns. Simply click on these plus icons, and that's it. Alternatively, after selecting the desired area, you can insert or delete rows and columns using the options in the toolbar. Here's how it's done. Sometimes, when creating a table, you may need to merge multiple cells into one. To do this, select the cells, right-click, and choose the Merge Cells command. To reverse this action, I click on the Split Cells tool. Furthermore, with this function, you can even divide a single standard cell into multiple smaller cells. Moving on, when working with tables, two additional tabs become available: Layout and Table Design. Let's find out how they can be useful to us. Let's start with the Layout tab. Essentially, these are the same table editing parameters but in a more extensive form. They are always visible, which adds convenience to your work. You need to flip the text. Just click here. If you want to set a single size for all cells, then select the table and in the Cell Size section, specify the desired values. Or use auto selection. What about sorting data? Here's a filled table that I copied from Microsoft Excel, and I want to sort it alphabetically. I select the second column and click on the sort icon on the Layout tab. Here, I indicate the second column and leave everything else unchanged, then click OK. The sorting process is successful, and the entire table adjusts to the alphabetical order based on the second column. I can also sort in ascending or descending numerical order. Let me demonstrate using the last column. I select it and access the sorting options. In the Sort By field, I choose the fifth column. Then, slightly to the right, instead of text, I enter a number. Since the ascending parameter is already selected, I simply confirm my choice by clicking OK. It's also possible to sort data in just one column, bypassing the others. I want these numbers to be in sequential order. To achieve this, I select them and once again go to the sorting menu. In this window, I choose the first column and enter the sorting settings. Now, I check this option and click OK. Consequently, individual sorting is applied to the first column, while all other columns remain unchanged. However, the most interesting tool on this tab is the formula option. It may come as a surprise to some, but in Word, you can actually perform calculations. We will delve into them a little later, but for now, let's take a look at the Table Design tab. Here, you can customize the visual appearance of your table. On one hand, you have a set of predefined styles. On the other hand, you have options to create your own style using just two ingredients: fill color and borders. By combining different combinations of these, you can easily achieve the desired result. Let me quickly show you an example, coming up with it on the spot. Now that we have covered the basics and useful editing tools, I will restore my table to its original appearance and start filling it in. The topmost row is a header row, so I need to merge its cells. I select it and click on the Merge Cells icon. Now, I can enter the text. Align it to the center, and increase the row height. I continue filling in the table, using the familiar tools we've discussed in this lesson. Follow my actions and take note. In this column, you can manually number the cells, but I want to show you an easier way. I select the empty cells in the first column and go to the Home tab. Here, I find the numbering icon and choose a suitable option. Now, my friends, it's time to work on calculations. I promise to show you how formulas work in Microsoft Word. Of course, it's not as versatile as Excel when it comes to working with data in tables, but there is still something useful available to us. I will calculate the profit as an example. I click on the first empty cell in the fourth column. In the layout options, at the top right corner, I locate the formula icon. A settings window appears. Here, I can choose a function, format the number, and perform editing. The program automatically suggests calculating the sum of the numbers on the left. It's worth noting that numbers from a numbered list will not be included, which is a good thing. If desired, you can add other arguments or functions. You can read the reference information about each of them by clicking on the question mark. There's not too much material, so take the time to study it if you want to learn how to make calculations in Microsoft Word. Now, let's continue. I click OK since this formula suits my needs. Done. The next 3 cells can be filled automatically. To do this, I select the cell with the formula, press the Ctrl+C key combination. Then, I select the lower cells and press Ctrl+V. Unlike Excel, in the Word editor, data is not automatically updated after making changes. Therefore, I need to select the data again and press the F9 key to update the result. Alright, now I will use a formula that selects and displays the maximum number in the profit column. To do this, I return to the formula editor. Delete the text from the first row. But make sure to leave the equal sign, as the formula won't work without it. This time, I'm interested in the max function. In the parentheses, I enter the argument above. This command instructs the program to find and write in the specified cell the number with the highest value from those mentioned above. And here is the result. Similarly, I will find the minimum value. The next task is to calculate the average quarterly profit. The average function is suitable for this. However, there is a small problem. If I specify the above argument, then all cells with numbers from this column will be included in the formula, making the result incorrect. I need to ensure that only these 4 values are considered in the calculation. Now is the time to recall Excel. Let's compute the cell addresses that need to be added to the formula. The first column is A, the second is B, the third is C, and the fourth is D. Now let's calculate the rows. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, I need to write cells from the third to the sixth in the D column. Therefore, my formula will look like this. I specify these arguments in parentheses, and the program will refer to the specified range of cells. The result is obtained. It remains to calculate the total profit for the whole year. I will use the sum function with the same arguments as in the previous formula. Done. Now, let me work on the table style a bit. While you're watching, let me tell you that in my opinion, Microsoft Word can be used to create simple and small tables. However, if you want to work with large amounts of data, it's better to master the Excel program. My channel offers free lessons, and I recommend checking them out. Congratulations, now you can create your own table in Microsoft Word. You can always refer to this video and review the material if needed. Some aspects may differ for you as we may be using different versions of the program, but there shouldn't be any significant discrepancies. If you feel inclined to provide a small financial support to the channel, you can do so by following the link in the video description or the first pinned comment. Also, give it a like if the video was helpful and subscribe to my channel. I wish you success in learning the Microsoft Office programs and have a great day. Goodbye.